thing.
We're rolling? Okay,
We're rolling.
we are back. This is season 2, episode God knows what.
Could be 5, could be 6.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But it's probably 4, isn't it? 5, 4 or
I think
5?
it may be 5.
You remember when we first started, everybody smoked?
That's back in the indoors.
It was weeks ago.
Remember?
We have a very, very special guest today that I'm very excited about. A man who really needs no introduction.
A St. Louis legend. Well, but they may not know what he looks like, right? Because a lot
Iggy
of
Strode.
history's been on the radio.
Maybe to your listening audience, they're not aware of me, but
I think you're underselling yourself.
He's like Travis Kelce before Taylor Swift.
Okay, so you had to be in the game. Like if you were a football fan, you knew exactly who it was, but
That's a good
he didn't
comparison,
transcend.
We are your Taylor Swift, I
We're
hope.
Taylor Swift, and you're
about as
Kelce.
good looking too,
Hey, you know what?
Some
Thank
of
you.
us.
and as
Let's
talented.
see.
Look at Mr. Curly here over
Thank
there.
you. Have you ever seen hair like that in your journeys?
Once he came into the studio with the hair curl, we all freaked out. We didn't know it was him.
But like in your travels, because you've seen it all. You've been everywhere. You've met everyone. Anybody? Does that jump out at you as somebody else's hair that you've seen? Some
Whose hair?
lovely woman. I don't know.
I'm trying to think.
Some lovely woman.
Who he's talking about?
No.
Kelsey's
You know,
hair?
my wife
his hair.
says,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what Kelsey's looks like.
anyone who tells
has
me
regular hair.
they love my hair
It's lying.
is lying to me.
So wait, she doesn't like it.
She doesn't love it. Certain days.
Oh, I like your hair. Now,
Thank you.
I will say,
It's a little wet. This isn't perfect, but
I can say this because I'm very secure in my masculinity.
yeah.
Phil Lynott,
I don't know who that
lead
is.
singer from Thin Lizzy,
Okay.
from Ireland.
Okay.
Most gorgeous hair I've ever seen. When I saw him at concert,
Really?
we were in third row, and I said, "Oh my God, this guy's gorgeous."
You could see how beautiful his hair was from the third row.
No, you're skating on a
What's his
thin
name?
bit of ice, but I'm with you there.
Yeah, you have
I
to
have
be able to
seen
acknowledge
guys
it.
Wait,
who
you guys are
just good
weird.
looking.
It's
and
totally fine to say a guy has nice hair.
I think so.
What's his name?
Phil Lynott, Lynott, Phil.
I've been on an elevator
L-Y-N-O-T
with Terry
hair.
on many occasions where he will compliment a man on his hair, a man he's never met before. So
Jealousy.
You know,
I know,
but it's
I
admiration. It's not jealousy. I mean, it is jealousy in that he'd love to have it, but it comes from a very sincere place.
What would I'd be interested. I wonder what I would pay if you could buy a good head of hair from somebody.
don't
You
know.
can go to Turkey.
No, yeah, but these guys have great hair. You know,
Wait, what is so great about Phil Lynott's hair? It
me
looks
see it.
like he's just got an afro.
The man just
Well,
got
he
here. You're going
likes-
to question his
it's not
opinions.
bad.
You have
I
every
just
right to
don't
like whose
see-
hair you like.
I'm
Let me
just
see the
curious
hair.
what's special about what sets him apart.
I just
Is
like
it
the way it
big?
looks. I like the way it
It's
looks
the
on
hair.
him.
It's a robust head of hair.
Is it the
If
way
you-
it moves?
No,
You know,
it's just
the
it looks
man
good on
just
him.
likes the
Yeah,
hair.
Let me tell you, I met Cal Ripken, the baseball player, at a book signing.
Yeah, did he have any hair?
No hair, but I've never seen eyes like that on a human being.
Yeah.
They were the.
Oh, they cut right
oh
through
my
you.
God!
Okay. We're
Through my
moving-
soul.
We're moving to the line.
Listen, we're
now
just going up to the
No,
line.
no, no,
Am I
no.
allowed
Hey,
to compliment a
wait,
man on
wait,
his
wait,
eyes?
Wait. Let's stop this. This is nonsense, and I don't want this on the show. Like this nonsensical. Whoa! Maybe we're gay because we said something about a guy's hair. No,
It doesn't
none of
make
it.
you gay.
But
I can,
this
but
is
I
sort
can
of the
admire somebody's
implication.
eyes.
We're
Yeah,
saying we're-
that's exactly right. But
I
you
can get
don't.
lost in somebody's
we're-
eyes.
But you don't
and
have to
not have
say.
it be gay.
No,
but you don't have to say no Diddy afterwards.
But we're guys.
It's okay.
We're guys.
You're still
That's how-
straight.
Well,
no
I don't know if
no one
if
made
you're
you-
appreciating how much I enjoy these eyes, though.
It's beautiful. Enjoy them all you want.
I mean, I was captivated. But
And let me
enough
say
about
this:
that.
no matter how much, you love his eyes,
Yes, it does
he
not.
doesn't want to have relations with you.
Well, you don't
first of
need-
all,
I
you
don't
don't.
know.
So
yeah,
it's
I
a
mean,
non-issue.
I understand. I know. First of all,
You're
what do you-
good. You're all safe.
I don't need you breaking my heart here on the
Mark's
podcast.
safe from the gays today.
You know how many times in my early days, in my 20s, I would go down to not Lucius Boomers, Balabams down the Central West
Yeah,
End.
that was a
I'd
great
have
place.
my Miami Vice look on. I was tan.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had my fake Rolex on with the diamonds. You know how many guys try to pick me up at that bar?
All of them.
All of them. And how
And
many
if I
of
was
them?
gay, I would have, but I wasn't. But
Let's
that
So
doesn't
you never
bother me.
took up any of them?
No,
let's
it doesn't
move on.
bother me.
Did I ever tell you
Hey,
about
did
the
I make
time
this
I got
up?
roofied in Madrid?
Oh God! Hey! Come on! This is actually
it's-
supposed to not harm.
That's true.
That is a true story,
Yeah.
actually.
That is.
So
Well,
I guess
feel
that's
like
okay.
that one needs to be saved for a day where we don't have a guest, because that could be its own podcast.
Iggy, did I make
Did you
this
sue him?
up?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure you're one, too.
I was going through some notes.
Very odd.
And
strange
in my phone, and for some reason, I had it in a note somewhere that did I make this up, or were you actually in a car accident where your car on 270 was just totally destroyed and there was nothing left but you holding the steering wheel?
Yeah, I turned this off. And
Or was that a
still on.
fantasy?
No, the listeners actually.
Not a fantasy.
Listeners actually came up with a, I don't know what you call it, a Photoshop of me sitting in 270 with just holding a steering wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. An 18-wheeler re-entered me.
That's what I thought, because I
should've
had
called
in
you
my
guys.
phone
Yeah, I was gonna
this
say.
picture that I think I maybe AI'd.
I don't know what kind
I'll
of coat
send
that
that
is.
to Steven.
Let me see.
Looks
that.
like Gore-Tex.
I feel like there was a story. I remembered a story where he was in a car and nothing was left except for him holding the steering wheel. And I guess I had this image from a while back.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was a whole thing on the show. Somehow it was my
thought so.
fault. They
You know,
didn't
and I
reenact
don't
it or
want to
anything,
not to
but-
insult our listeners for their lack of worldliness, but maybe take a minute and give people a little bit of your
bio?
of your bio, a little bit of your resume, because you've been in this for decades here in St. Louis.
Started in 1992 at the very first all sports station in St. Louis, KASP. We were talking about that right down
What
the
year was
street
that?
from
1992.
Chris's Pancake and
Okay.
Dining, where we went every morning almost. 92. At the time, I think there were like 5 all sports stations in the country. We were one of them.
Really?
Yeah, so I started there with the legends.
Was KFAN one of them?
I think there was one in
Did you
Toronto.
say you started with the legend?
The legends that
Was
are
it
now-
KFNS? What was the
KFNS.
fan?
Oh, yeah,
KFNS.
KFNS.
But that came like in 98. 92 was KASP. And I think there was a station in Toronto, there was WFAN, and a couple other all sports stations. And
WFAN, that's what I'm thinking.
yeah, that was there. And the people that were there the first day, Jay Randolph Jr., Kevin Slayton, Mike Claiborne, Rob Fisher, Bob Ramsey. All of them are legends.
Yeah.
And good guys, except for one of them.
Oh, I mean, are we allowed to ask which
But
one?
I don't like Kevin Slayton, no.
Okay, there you go. A little controversy right here.
Well, he was
Well, I think most people know me
controversial
now.
every place he was. I mean, did he stay any place a long time?
I don't know. He's probably been in as many as I have.
Which would just a round number.
I don't know, maybe 6.
Oh, that's not.
So okay, so you were
But
saying,
yeah, so I started there. That folded. I don't even think we lasted a year. And Bob Birch was running 590. Bob Birch from the K-She days was the best program director in St. Louis, basically ran K-She, went to work for the company that owned KZK, and they bought us. And that's when 590 was born. We were in the same studio as Ed Goodman and everybody at KZK. And then from there, Greg Marisek bought it in 98, and I just kind of moved everywhere KFNS or 1380 went.
Huh.
Until now. Now I'm
Just
pretty much done.
to place it in history, when was Wolfman Jack a big deal? No, I remember. I
70s?
used to,
Yeah, 70s.
yeah, was that when it was? Because I remember if you drove late at night any place in the United States, you could hear him from Del Rio, Texas.
Well, he was AM originally,
The big
right?
deal was, yeah, it was we didn't listen to much FM, but it was.
was he already a big deal before his kind of participation in American Graffiti, or did that take him to a
that helped
national
him.
level?
I think people knew who he was, but not everybody. You had to be a driver that drove late at night and listened to FM radio. there was, I don't even remember, it was out of Del Rio, Texas, but there was WLS in Chicago. I mean, there was these big 50,000 watt stations that had all this power, but they couldn't go on, I think, before what?
There's something about the atmosphere on AM radio, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why
Well,
during
wait,
the day. It
wait,
must
do
have
you
something
know?
to do
Is
with
that
the
what it
sun.
is?
Yeah, it happened to do if there was a signal close to you that would overtake that signal at night. You couldn't be on the air.
But I think with AM, there was something about maybe the sun, or it was a nighttime thing. At night, KMOX was the same way. All these the powerful AM radio stations, you could hear some of them, I think, in almost all 50 states. KMOX was, I think, in 40 states or something
yeah.
like that at night.
I
On a clear
remember
night,
being
when
in
I
North
lived in
Carolina.
Bermuda for 5 years, and on a clear night, not KMOX, but I could pick up WFAN from New York.
Yeah,
now your Bermuda years, as I recall, those were special years in your life.
Those were legendary years, yeah.
Why'd you leave? You were having a life that people could only dream
Yeah, I
of.
Well,
basically-
let's start with why'd you go?
Well, at the time, I was working at the Breckenridge and Frontenac. Before I got into, I really only had 2 jobs really in my life: waiting tables and radio. And I was working at the Breckenridge and Frontenac, and our food and beverage manager Robert was from Holland, and great guy. And he took a job in Bermuda at the Sonesta Beach Hotel. I half kiddingly, we had a going away party for him. I said, "If you need a waiter, call me." Like 8 months later, he called me. "Kenny, baby, I can get you on. When can you come down?" I said, "Oh, when you want me." So it took me like a month to get paperwork and everything done. But so I went down there and worked, and it was just.
How old
5
were you
years
at the time?
25, 26 maybe.
Oh, okay.
Still young.
And the women were plentiful, as I recall.
This was in Bermuda?
Yeah.
What's because Bermuda is very far north for a tropical.
Yeah, it's
type
not a
of-
tropical island.
Right. It's Bermuda's off like what, North Carolina, I guess.
Yeah, like 650 miles east of North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean it's really far north, and not the Caribbean.
It's not a
at
winter
all.
destination.
So who's going there? Who's hanging in
It doesn't get cold. I mean, it gets in the 50s
it's not
in the
like
winter,
it's
but
in the
not in
60s,
80s, not in
right?
Miami.
It
Or,
used
So what's
to
the
be-
appeal? What's the appeal?
Well, because it is an island in the summer and in the spring. It's
yeah,
And it's tropical. I mean,
Ish.
I mean, but and it used to be more popular. I don't know anybody. I actually
It's
know.
true.
It's
When I
that
was a kid, you
triangle.
always
I
heard
know.
about people going to Bermuda. You don't hear about
the
it anymore.
triangle.
And then
Scared everyone
what
off.
about Bermuda shorts? That's a type of shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what are they?
I think long shorts.
Is that what they
Were
are?
they
Yeah.
long? I
Yeah.
thought they were just
they were just
long.
above the
long.
knee, but you have to wear socks with them. You have to wear knee-high socks
Yeah.
with them.
Is that
Anyway,
right?
we're in Bermuda. You're there for how long?
I can take a tangent like nobody's business. I'm already on Bermuda shorts.
5 years I was there.
And why'd you leave?
Basically kicked out.
Of the whole country?
Wow.
Yeah, I was.
Is it
I
a
was-
country? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's an English territory.
I like the Bahamas, right?
Yeah, they still.
So why'd you get
honor the
kicked out?
Queen.
What'd you do? Can you talk about it, or
Yeah,
have you
I
been
was. Well, people think I did something, but what I did
He and his
was
friend Joran Vandersloot.
that was Aruba. I was a shop steward.
Scary. He knows that.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know about unions, a shop steward is in charge of I was in charge of my restaurant. And I just got a lot of things done. I mean, I wasn't happy with what we were making from our tips. The maitre d', who was part of management, was getting like 70% of our tips, and we
You
were
were a
splitting
rebel
it.
rouser.
And I went to our shop steward was Bermudian, and I said, "Did any of you guys vote for this guy?" No. Well, let's take another vote because this is BS. I don't know what I can say on this. So they voted me. The first thing I did is I took away his 70%.
Oh, you're lucky you didn't end up with a pair of cement shoes.
I said, "You're getting nothing. If you want more money, go to management because you are management. We're taking our tips." I called 3 strikes in the 5 years I was there.
Yeah. You know, you're lucky you're alive.
And so they wanted to try and break the union, which, believe it or not, Bermuda has one of the strongest unions in the world. Ottawell Simmons would go a island-wide strike if he didn't like something. Airports shut down everything. And they wanted to try and break the union, so the first thing they did was not renew the work permits of the foreign shop stewards, which I happen to be one.
Oh,
Got it.
So
So
that's
they didn't
where
renew my
got
work
you.
permit. That's why I was out. So
5
basically,
years.
being part of the union got me kicked out.
Huh. Are you welcome back in the country
Oh, yeah.
today?
Yeah, I want to go because if you like playing golf, per capita or per square mile, it has more golf courses than anywhere in the world.
Oh, well, and that would explain why people want to go
yeah,
there.
21 miles long, a mile and a half wide, and they have 8 golf courses.
Wow.
But it's
Man, I can't
pretty
believe
down
that's-
there.
Oh, it's
I mean,
gorgeous.
yeah,
The
it's real
sand is
pretty.
pink.
And
There's
what
not
is
an
it?
ounce of
Like, how
trash
cold
anywhere.
does it get in the winter? What's
It's
how
in the
bad?
50s.
Yeah, so it's not
50s?
terrible. It's
Yeah,
it's not
I mean,
a
it's
bad
not,
winter.
you know, it's
not a
not
terrible
like
No, but it's not.
Bahamas where it's 80.
Now,
Right.
getting back on your bio, obviously you got 33 plus years on the radio. You've interviewed some notables, some big time people. You want to throw out a few names, impress our audience, and maybe give us a behind the scenes. Who was the nicest person? That's surprisingly nice.
More important.
And then who was the person that
Everybody
that was
hates.
just a tremendous disappointment to you? One of those don't never meet your heroes type of moments.
One I didn't interview, but I hung out with her, Lady Gaga.
Oh yeah,
That
what was
is-
she like?
She was the most down-to-earth, kindest human being I've ever met in my life.
That makes me feel good because I would think that about her just based on her story, her history. But, I would be disappointed if that wasn't the case.
That's certainly what she wants you to think.
Yes, exactly, which is why I'd be disappointed because I feel
Yeah,
like
that's-
it does seem like that's how she would be.
Yeah,
Right, because if you're going to be an ass, just own it.
Yeah,
If she would have been
exactly.
standoffish, I'd say, "Nah, that's disappointing." Because
She's short, right?
I admired her. She's like 5'1", 5'2".
Oh, I like that. I do. I like Lady Gaga. Yeah, no, I like them short.
But I'm part of the Megan Meyer Foundation on the board, which is an anti-bullying foundation. She started the Born This Way Foundation, which is an anti-bullying suicide prevention.
Who was Megan
foundation.
Meyer? Just because I know
talk about that a little bit too.
Participate in the annual golf tournament. Is it a golf tournament or a bowling tournament, right?
I put on the bowling thing every year, 16th annual coming on November 22nd. Cool. But we do a golf tournament. We do a trivia night. But
Who was Megan Meyer?
Tina started the foundation when her daughter Megan committed suicide after being bullied on MySpace and at school. And so she started the foundation, and I've been with it for 17 years now. And it's just a tremendous foundation. I mean, she has helped save so many lives to the point where we opened a counseling center because none of us are counselors on the board.
Right.
And these kids needed counseling. So we were paying for counselors out of our own pocket. That's why we do these things we do to raise money. Huh. And we have grants and things like that. But from the money that we've made over the years from donations, we built our own.
That's awesome.
Our own counseling center where kids can come in, the parents can come in, can talk to them. We just bought a new building with a playground and areas where the kids can play and talk. And we have an open house coming up in September, and I'll give all you guys an invite. But yeah, it's a very, very close to my heart because in school, I was never a bully. I was nice to everybody. But there's these two kids that got bullied every day. I mean, they would knock their books out of their hands. They'd yell at them. They'd throw food at them in the cafeteria.
Like out of a movie.
Yeah.
But they never did anything. Knock the books, they'd pick them up, walk away. And I went in the bathroom one day, and they're both in there crying. And I thought to myself, I'm just as guilty as the people bullying because I didn't say anything. I didn't say, leave them alone, stop it. I just let it go. So when I was asked to be part of this, basically from my media connections, somebody in there can get the word out, I jumped at it. I said, I got to do something. I said, because I see that stuff going on. And I had lunch with those two guys about 3 years ago.
Oh, really?
And we said,
how are they doing?
Doing great. They're both married, have kids, grandkids. And we sat down. I said, I just apologize for that. For what? I said, I didn't do anything. They said, we don't even think about that anymore. Because back then, nobody really said anything about bullying. Well, that's
what I was going to ask is that on one hand, there's so much more attention paid to it now. And you have, organizations like the one that you're a part of. Has bullying, is it worse today than it was when we were kids because of the internet, because of people's comfort? And yet, when we were kids, nobody did anything to prevent bullying. It just
they
went on.
They don't do anything now. They talk about it. There's a lot of lip service. I don't think a lot of these schools do a whole lot. And in fairness, a lot of it occurs like on these big group chats that all these kids are on, these texts. I don't know what they can do about it. It's really, and you're giving these kids these powerful, powerful devices, communication devices, and they'll have 50 people in their grade on a group chat, and people just say stupid stuff. I think texting and emailing is such a terrible means of communication to begin with. But I think it just emboldens people to say things they would never say in person. I think it takes someone who would not necessarily be a bully and turns them into one because it's so easy.
Brings out your worst.
And don't you find too that? And I think no one talks about it. But if you look up the technical definition of blackmail, like in Missouri, if you look up the statute, I think it's arguable that all of these bullies out there are guilty of blackmail because you don't have to be like threatening in exchange for money. If you're threatening to release something, a text message, a photograph of something that would cause somebody shame or embarrassment, I think under the Missouri rule, like you technically blackmailed them.
What's hard is I think there's this thought that, do we really want to ruin this kid's life? He or she is 14 years old. He doesn't know what he's doing. She doesn't know what she's doing. And to some extent, they're correct. The problem with it is the victim, their life is being harmed. And so you're saving.
That stuff can stick with you. Those guys were lucky to have gone past it and build lives for themselves. That's not always the case.
People are softer now?
Oh, yeah.
In other words, how many kids how many boys graduate high school without ever being in a fist fight?
Most.
Do you think there's, back, we had some bullying. But people would, there were physical altercations. A lot of it.
I think there is a real socioeconomic component to that now, more so than there was when you were younger and when I was younger.
What have you seen? You must hear the stories, because of the foundation. You must see what's going on. How do you compare today's climate to what it was when we were growing up?
Well, it's worse. because of social media.
Right, because they could release something in a moment of anger or upset that you can't take back, and it's going to be seen by everybody.
Seen by 500,000 people, depending on how many followers you have.
As much as I hated the experiences that we had to go through back in our day, some of them, I'm so grateful that we were when we were. I would hate to be one of the kids today. I would hate to be living as a kid today.
I was going to say, this is an eating sandwiches show, and I didn't see food.
Okay,
so.
well, listen, now, and you're all probably, for the handful of you that are watching or listening, whatever, you probably don't even wondering where the hell all the food is. We're doing Chris's. What is that? What does that say? Team something.
I think it's an omelet.
That looks
I'm
to
not
be.
eating that. We have a good selection, though, because Chris's is a legendary place, and like you say, you kind of got your start there. In the early days, you were eating there every day.
Part of the Bartolino
I think this may be a side dish.
Yeah.
This is.
Can we see it? Is
Team
it a secret?
Royal is what it says. It looks like it's some hash browns with some stuff on it.
That's going to be beautiful on the side.
I'll get that.
On the side of a plate.
I know just what to do with that.
Yeah, it's all getting here, and just so you know, it's some of the things we're going to be featuring today. There's going to be a turkey sausage egg white wrap. I won't be eating that. There'll be a Joni's turkey sausage sandwich. That I'll eat, but with there's eggs on that too. Chicken avocado. That I'll eat. Chris's grilled cheese. I'll eat that. Something called the Bigga, and we'll give you a description when we actually pull that out. And then
figures only.
And then their famous club. They do their club a very particular way.
Iggy, let's say Marconi never invents the radio. What do you do? What's the second option?
Wait, what was your other career? It was radio. He'd be a waiter.
Oh, it'd be a server. You think?
No, I started to hate people after a period of time.
Can you imagine? Speaking of, I would bet being a server now compared to back then, people are much worse and way more emboldened to be
right, because they feel like they have recourse because of the internet, because of reviews, because of and also just in general. I think people are obnoxious and loud.
Think people? We're not moving in the right direction.
No, are we? Come on, you even have to ask.
No, that's why I love the commercial I saw on. I was on YouTube TV the other day watching something.
We are definitely not moving in the right direction.
Your commercial came on, and it was Andy that just said, just be happy. All we want you to do is be happy. Here's a picture of a dog.
Yeah, take a smile break.
And I said, that is perfect.
That's Goldie from all the billboards. Yeah, if you start to see the billboards with Terry and Goldie on it, Goldie is in studio today.
That's not Goldie. That's one of her lookalikes that she sends out.
So I said to myself, with so much hate going on in this world, that commercial is just perfect. Thank you for that.
We did that. We've done something like that sometimes during the crowded election seasons. This time around, it was the only time we've ever done it when it was not election season, where there was just so much hostility in the world. We felt like, this will cut through it. We get literally, would you say one a day? What it is?
Yeah, a lot of people.
About one a day of just a citizen emailing us, texting us, or calling us just to thank us for putting out that commercial and keep it going, because there's just so much nonsense out there right now.
Yeah. And there's something about dogs.
Is that the one that
one thing we could all agree on?
Yeah, dogs.
Is that the one the guy played at his funeral?
Yeah, I think so.
We had a guy who apparently loved the commercial and was maybe terminally ill at the time. This is very recent.
I would have brought Goldie. I would have said to let us know.
Your fork.
And said
a fork down there.
He wanted this played at his funeral. And at his funeral, they played the commercial because he loved it so much. So this must be it. This is not on my list, but it's,
Is there another fork?
You can tell what it is. You didn't get one? Here.
No.
Here, I used it to serve. That's all right. I didn't put my mouth on it.
I don't. You're my son. I made that mouth.
Okay.
Get your lips wet a little bit, dirty.
This is just good old-fashioned comfort food right here. A little hash brown with some cheese.
Some hamburger or sausage?
I would say.
Yeah,
that's right. It's chorizo.
A little spice to it.
Yeah, a little kick, a little tomato.
So there's no radio. You don't think you would have stayed in the restaurant business? Something golf related? What do you think you would have done?
I really don't know, because I went to college for 2 years and really studied nothing.
Where'd you go?
Merrimack, then I went to UMSL. I just went for spring break. I guess I could have went to spring break without going to college, but
where'd you go in spring break?
What did I get into?
That was good.
Freak Nick.
Did you ever
Where would you do spring break?
Daytona?
No, Lauderdale both times. Back when Lauderdale was still a good destination to go to for spring break.
Was Fort Lauderdale did it originate kind of the modern
Oh, I
spring
think so.
break debauchery
I think so.
I think it was that movie.
where the boys are?
I mean, we stayed in a one room. There were like 6 of us in one room, and it was right above the Elbow Beach, which was the
Elbow Room. Yeah.
or Elbow Room. I don't know if it's still there. Elbow Beach is a place in
No, it's-
Bermuda.
it is still there.
The
Elbow
I
Room.
was just there a couple months ago.
Yeah, and the playpen we'd go to. That was a big thing down there.
Yeah.
But-
What is it? Rod something's the playpen. Remember,
Yeah.
there was some guy's name.
Yeah.
We used to. My grandma lived in Fort Lauderdale, so grew up going there quite a bit. So I remember all that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was
time.
my
George
virginity, I wanted to
Hamilton
know.
a star.
Wait, we got thrown off before he was able to answer the question about the people
he
you've
can't come up
interviewed.
with it. A professional spring breaker.
No, but also a job that you would have had. We need to cover that. Also, you mentioned Lady Gaga as somebody who was really nice, but she didn't give us a person who disappointed you.
Willie Mays.
Really,
Willie Mays disappointing. Your
is
son, by the way,
disappointing.
eats pancakes like my kids.
Yes.
What's
You pick
is
'em
there
up and
something
you eat 'em.
about people the younger people that silverware is just not a thing anymore?
He likes picking up a pancake and eating it.
He is not alone. I mean, that's how young people seem to just. There's no silverware.
Well, he doesn't put anything on it, so I think that makes a
If
difference.
you had some syrup and some butter on there, you
I
wouldn't
mean,
have to be holding
I
it.
can see how it's just sort of like a slice.
I like using a pancake as bread and roll up some sausage and bacon in there. Nom, 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 nom.
They have at the original Pancake House. They have like sort of a pigs in a
Roll-ups.
blanket kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Mhm, delicious.
That's sweet and salty.
All
Yeah.
for
Anyway,
it.
so
tell us
where
about
were
what
we?
happened to Willie Mays.
Wait, Willie
Mays.
Willie Mays used to be the archetype
Still is
for a
Still is.
baseball
He's still
player
the
and an
archetype.
African American.
He's still the archetype. He's still the perfect combination of power and speed and fielding.
But what was he in? Was he older when you met
Yeah,
him?
I don't know if he was like this in his heyday, but I guess it was 98 because Sosa and McGuire were getting
yeah, it was
close
the
to
summer.
breaking the record. And so we knew he was going to break the record. I think it was like 3 short with 30-something games to go. So Mike Claiborne at the time was at 590, and he said, let's put something together when he breaks it. Iggy, what can you do? And I said, well, just call some of the great home run hitters. I got a Rolodex like nobody in the country. I said, I'll start reaching out to some of these home run hitters and see if we can't get a few sound bites from them, and then we'll splice it together. I call Willie Mays. I had his home number. He answers. I told him what we're doing, and he agreed to do it. And then he came on and was just belligerent. And I started doing. I said, and joining us now is Willie Mays. Willie, thank you so much for joining us. We're just talking a little bit about, Mark breaking the record, and you were a prolific home run hitter. He said, why are you talking to me? I never broke any records. I said, no, but you hit like 600 home runs or whatever. So you kind of know what these guys are going through. You don't even know if he's going to do it. I said, well, he's 3 short with 30 games left to go. I'm pretty sure he's going to do it. He goes, you don't know that. I said, okay. I said, you think him and Sammy seem to be enjoying it, having a great time with it. Whereas when Roger broke the record and Mickey was right there before he got hurt, the people they didn't enjoy it. The people in New York didn't want Roger to break it. They wanted Mickey to do it. You don't know that. That's hearsay. I said, do you read? Do you follow anything? I said, no, that is not the case. I said, that's why there were 20,000 people in the stands when Roger Maris broke the record. But he was just belligerent. I don't know why you're asking me all these questions. I don't know anything about that. Oh, God,
Probably
this
a
ain't going well.
Band-Aid.
Okay.
Let's just say
Wait. But so who is the most famous person who you would feel comfortable getting on FaceTime right now?
Oh, God. And we're not going to ask you to, per se.
Oh, we might. Depending on who it is.
Wait, who do you consider famous?
Well, I
You
mean,
tell me.
I mean, I've interviewed him. That doesn't mean I'm great friends with them.
No.
but you
somebody
had
who's
Willie
famous
Mays' home number, which
who
is
you
pretty
would
impressive.
feel comfortable FaceTiming right now, who would answer and be like totally happy to be
And
part
you're
of
talking
this.
a celebrity?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
they got to be. I mean,
I don't know the
famous.
celebrities I know. I don't even know if they FaceTime. I'm not even sure I know how to FaceTime.
Well, let's not call it a FaceTime.
Well, what if
say
we-
a phone call. Who'd be the happiest to hear from you?
You want to prank call Willie Mays?
He's
Well, he's dead.
Or Willie
but
Nelson.
I don't have
you
his
got
number.
Willie
Oh,
Nelson's number?
No.
He was just in town, wasn't
yeah.
he? I saw some pictures online.
Like
What
having a
other
phone number
Willies
and
are there?
knowing them real well is different. I have John
Yeah.
Hamm's phone number.
Would
but I
he
couldn't
be
call
happy
him.
to hear
No,
from
'cause he
you
probably
right
doesn't
now?
know who I am. I got his number when we had him on.
Oh, got it.
After the Blues won the Stanley Cup. I got
so
him on
let's
with
prank
Tim's
him.
podcast.
Oh my God, we could be.
He's
pranking.
alive.
Coming up soon. We won't be pranking John Hamm, but we will be eating ham. Does that count? Is anything?
I think that does. I think it's John Hamm and Jason.
Ham.
No,
It's a ham.
so I have a lot of phone numbers that I could call for interviews, but as far as them knowing me real well, John Hamm, hey, Eggs, what's going on? Yeah, I'll FaceTime you. No, probably
So
not.
who else were some
who's
nice
a great
people
interview?
and-
But like
yeah.
a great interview. Who gave you gold? You just served it up and they were just giving gold after gold.
I didn't do a lot of interviews because I was a producer for the most part.
No.
So I know on my podcast, I've had Bob Costas on. I got Joe Buck coming up later
What
in
happened to
July.
Bob Costas?
What do you mean?
He got
Where is
old.
he?
He got old.
He just won the Stan Musial Award. I was there that night when they gave him the Musial Award.
Yeah, so I didn't do a lot of the interviews. I lined up a lot of interviews. Probably the one that I didn't tape it, and I tell the story that I wish I would have is I used to produce for Frank Cusimano, who loved Big Time Guest, and so I would get as many big time guests I could on for him. And
I don't know what this
we were doing a greats of the game, and I had a number for Joe DiMaggio in Frisco.
Oh,
So I was in the back studio making these phone calls, and I was trying to line him up for Frank's show, and he answered the phone.
Joe DiMaggio?
And I said, Mr. DiMaggio, this is Kenny Strode from 590 The Fan in St. Louis. So honored to talk to you. I'm trying to line up some legends of the game for Frank, and I was wondering if you'd have some time during this week. He goes, I don't do interviews anymore. I just kind of like to hang out here. I don't even really go to old timers games anymore. So
Guys, you think people remember that we're not just guys eating sandwiches, but we're actually a law firm that handles injury cases?
you think the podcast has gotten so big they forgot about our roots?
Have they forgotten about this man, 45 years on the television, telling people that we don't get paid unless you get paid? Do you think they know that?
Tell them.
We don't get paid if you don't get paid.
There you go. You've been hurt? Call us. Now back to the podcast.
hang out here. I don't even really go to old timers games anymore, so I really don't do any of that. And I said, okay. I said, that's fine. I said, I kind of figure it, but you're one of the greatest of all times. It'd be an honor to have you on the show. And he goes, well, back in my day. And he started talking and talking.
Some of those old guys they
Talking.
can't help themselves but
And at
talk.
one point he goes, for all I know, you're probably taping this now and going to put it
it's
on
an
the air. I said,
interview.
I would never do that. But I'm thinking to myself, my God, I should be taping this. I didn't. And I had him on the phone for 45 minutes talking baseball, talking Marilyn Monroe, talking everything for 45 minutes. And I got off the phone and said, I just talked to Joe DiMaggio for 45 minutes and nobody's going to believe anything I tell him because...
And that, you know what? I heard too. I guess the guy just answered his phone because I was just watching The Food That Built America. And it was the episode on coffee and how coffee went from being a diner drink when nobody was brewing at home. They didn't even really have home brewers the way they did. But when Mr. Coffee introduced their home brewer, what really catapulted it was getting Joe DiMaggio to be their pitch person. Because this idea of men making coffee was, even women weren't making it, but they just used the old-fashioned percolators. But what we would call the drip coffee, and that's the first
Wait.
machine.
People have been making coffee at home for...
No, they have not been dripping coffee at home.
Oh, they made like an espresso kind of drink.
They had percolators.
Got it.
They did not have what we would call a drip maker until the Mr. Coffee. And they said in there that the way they got DiMaggio was they called him at home and he answered.
Yeah.
And they took some persuasion, of course, but this guy just liked to answer his own phone.
He did.
I can't imagine that
And
these days.
I
don't even answer my own phone, and I'm nobody.
I'm thinking to myself, if he would have just come on the air and we could have got all this on the air, but I know in my heart that I talked to him, so I don't care what anybody thinks. I know I talked to Joe DiMaggio for 45 minutes.
That's awesome. I think before answering machines, it was human nature to answer the phone. You couldn't not. The curiosity was before robocalls. It was before any of that. So if somebody's calling your
Always
phone,
important.
Yeah, it was almost certain to be somebody who you knew or wanted to talk to.
It's a call.
There's no caller
I think
ID.
even somebody famous like Joe, you didn't know who it was. If you missed the call, you would never know who it was. There was no voicemail. So I think the curiosity, the human...
Remember when
Opportunity
caller
lost.
ID came out?
Yeah.
We were kids. We were probably, about 1982? We were maybe 10, 11 years old. Caller ID came out, changed everything. I don't think I've answered the phone since.
I don't. I get 90 spam calls a day.
And Star 69, remember Star 69? That was the best.
Kill prank calls.
Remember-
Meanwhile, this is their grilled cheese, yes?
Yeah.
So it's grilled cheese. It's got tomato, bacon, And cheese. That's it. Very simple. Very buttery on a grilled
A little too
white
buttery
bread.
for my tastes, but I'm a light butter kind of guy.
So am I.
It's good, though.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but tasty.
So as far as
That's the thing. It's tasty, but I don't think I could eat a whole one.
Yeah.
as far as the interviews, I don't know. I did a thing called Iggy's Straight to the Web, where I would do interviews myself, and then we'd play them either on the show or we'd play them on the website. And I would like get D-list celebrities, you know.
Yeah, I love the D-list celebrities because they'll talk to you.
Oh yeah, you call them and say, "You want to talk to me?" Yeah,
Who were the
I'd love
most
to.
fun? You know, D-list, who cares how big they were, but how fun were they? Who gave you the good stuff?
Fran Drescher was the best. Fran Drescher.
Really?
Wait. That is not fair to call her D-list.
No, she's a little higher than that. In
Yeah,
her
but-
heyday, she
but
was.
when
at
I
least.
talked to her, she wasn't really doing anything anymore. So, but she gave me at
She's
the end.
still alive?
At the end, she goes, "I said how much I loved her and I loved your
nanny.
work and
Yeah.
blah blah blah." She said, "Oh, Iggy."
Starting a show called The Nanny.
Did you sleep
She
with
was a good-looking
And I
woman.
sleep with
though.
her.
You didn't sleep with her?
No.
He'd tell you if he did.
No, she was good-looking.
Wait a minute. Speaking of, there is a rumor that you maybe had relations with Leona Helmsley.
That is true, Riz. I
Yeah.
mean, I heard a little bit of that story
She's
back on
dead.
the
You
show.
can talk about it. Or is this something you'd
I
love
talked
to
about
keep?
it when she was alive, so what does it matter?
Give me this. First of all, she was quite a bit older than you, I would think, right?
Yeah, she was probably close to 70 at the time.
Yeah, because I would think she'd be over 100 now, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she'd be 105.
Okay, so she's 70 at the
Wait,
time.
how old were you?
Well, I was probably late 20s because I was in Bermuda when it happened. She was staying at the hotel.
Bermuda.
Yeah, so this was early 90s.
This is
Like 89, 90,
89,
maybe
90.
88.
And was she-
I think it was before she went to prison, actually.
Oh, even more impressive. It's much easier to get her after she served time
And
than
I'm
to
not
get
sure-
her beforehand.
I'm not sure if her husband had died yet or not. I don't know if I was cheating on her or not.
Was
that's
she
not
married?
That's her burden to,
Yeah, I
to
don't
carry. Yeah,
Was she
that's
famous?
not your responsibility.
Or was she?
For in New York, she was for the hotels. She was the queen of
Okay,
mean.
so
they
there
called her.
were already the hotels. She was a wealthy woman at the time. This wasn't.
Was she a well-known woman as she became? Well, wasn't she more infamous than famous?
Well, maybe
I think
not
so,
at a
actually.
younger
Wasn't
age.
she the archetype for the spoiled, wealthy woman?
But I think-
that very entitled.
I think later on it came out that she was very mean to her employees.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I think that was later in
things
life.
like that, but-
I mean, if you're talking about,
well, was
big
she a
piece
big
of sandwich.
celebrity
I don't know.
before
It is a big
that?
one.
like he said, I think in New York she was well known because the hotels were there at the
Yeah,
time.
and she was all over. I mean, every magazine you see, and especially in the planes, you know, in the whatever it was called, the magazine that sells stuff. Her picture was always in there. So, I'm sorry, I turned it
sandwich
off.
is
and it's still
His
going.
goes off
Very
all the time.
slippery.
And what is
It is
this?
a very
What is-
slippery
which one is
sandwich.
this?
This must be the club.
I thought it was the club, but this is not thick cut sourdough bread. This is thin cut.
Well, maybe I squished it a little when I cut it.
was-
Ham, smoked turkey,
pretty
bacon,
thick to
lettuce,
me.
tomato, and mayonnaise on thick cut sourdough toast. So it's a cool Bermuda night. You're in Bermuda shorts,
Well, I waited on her, and
socks, maybe some Basswegians, and you see her walk in.
No, I had my white tux thing on, and my bow tie, and my wingtip
looking as
shirt.
good as you could.
tan, hair slicked back.
Was she
Who
in
wouldn't
any
want
way
that?
physically disabled?
When you're 70,
Not beforehand.
she just asked me to go. She just asked me to go have a drink, so I did. And
Just out of nowhere.
Oh my!
yeah,
Did the thought ever occur to you? Do I really want to have sex with a 70-year-old woman when you're in your 20s?
that has never crossed my mind, Terry.
Or did it ever occur to you,
That's a blessing.
I may not wake up with both kidneys?
Oh, she's got so much money.
She can buy all the kidneys she wants.
And the thing is too is when they post pictures of her and call her the Queen of Mean, they find the most unflattering pictures they
course.
can. But she was a fairly attractive older lady.
Yeah, I don't know about a 70, but I'm
But
assuming.
remember, 70 back then was that was old.
Yeah, it's not like now. But I don't know. We hit it off, and she wanted to go back to the room, and I did, and got up the next morning. She said, "I'm leaving later tonight, but can we have lunch?" We had lunch, and I guess she went down to Hamilton. Hamilton is known for their De Beers Gold. They get it much cheaper in Bermuda. Don't have to pay all the taxes on it, so it's cheaper down there. But I showed up for lunch, and she gave me a nice rope bracelet.
Really? A
gold bracelet?
It's a beautiful
I had
story.
that thing forever until I lost it on the golf course. I guess I got it snagged in my glove on a shot, and I couldn't find it anywhere. But
You realize, and I don't mean to be critical, that's probably the equivalent of having sex with an 85-year-old woman now.
Hey,
But I think you'd do that.
age ain't nothing but a number.
No, I'm very
85-year-old?
impressed.
How old's Ann Margaret? Like, at what point do you still take the opportunity because you want that in your story, in your history?
I don't think this was for the story. I think give
No,
this
I
man
didn't
a
tell
little
anybody.
respect.
Ann Margaret's turning. Ann Margaret's 84.
84. There you go.
Yeah,
So you asked about
I-
85. Ann Margaret.
I'd do Ann Margaret.
Well,
instead.
sure you would.
Iggy just believes in love.
Ann Margaret?
Doesn't matter. I've seen all of Ann Margaret I need to know that I want her on the list.
Did you keep in touch?
So let me
No,
ask you a
actually,
question.
she refused
Is
to
there any
acknowledge
human
me.
being? No, I'm. This is a side conversation.
Oh, no, we
With
don't
that-
have side conversations.
No,
on
is
the
there
podcast.
any
Apparently we
human
do.
being that if they were famous enough, you wouldn't sleep with?
Wait, what?
Well,
I don't sleep with somebody because they're famous.
no, Ed just
I
was
would.
saying.
Yeah, not just because they're famous, because at their height, they were very astoundingly sexy and beautiful. Like
Little
Sophia
uncomfortable
Loren.
with where this
Like,
conversation is going.
but take Sophia Loren.
We're gonna have some sensitivity training.
No, this
before
is
the next
this is
podcast.
listen. This is all consensual, all loving. But if you had an opportunity to get with Sophia Loren right now, you're not getting her at her peak. Are you ladies okay with it? But in the story of your life, as it's retold over and over later on, people say, "Oh, your dad had sex with Sophia Loren," and somebody will then go to the internet and look, and they'll see the pictures of her in her peak, and they'll be like, "Wow, that was really something."
Ed's going to be like a guy and say,
I guess I measure my success in different ways.
I'm just listen.
What
You
if
could
she was
judge all you want.
"What
I
if
just
she
think
was
that
104?"
I don't know that it's an age thing. Is she alive
Can they move?
Well,
or recently dead?
Now we're.
Nobody at that age is still having sex.
Yeah. See.
I don't know if that's true.
There's no 100. I guarantee there's no 100-year-old anywhere in the world that's still having sex.
What do you think in the Guinness Book of World Records, if they tracked that sort of thing, what do you think the age would
that's
be?
the adult version.
I promise
Well,
you
no,
it's
Dick-
over
Dick
100.
Van Dyke's
85.
turning 100
No
in
way.
December.
You think Dick Van Dyke's having sex?
I don't know. You know, his
No.
wife's way younger than he is.
Well, that's
She's
for
an
the money.
attractive
Dick Van
woman.
Dyke.
That's for the money, and she doesn't have to have sex with him. That's why.
but- So
I'm just wondering. Well, he said that nobody
Is
at
he
100 is
100?
having sex. He's going to turn 100 in December. So he's 99
I'm
and
going
a
to start
half.
asking everyone I mute who's over 100.
I mean, it can't.
Mel Brooks just turned 99 the other day. You know, I mean, I don't know. But you think nothing.
I don't believe Viagra even works for a 100-year-old man.
That's it. They're out.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Man.
what are you
I
worried
don't
about?
know how we got on this topic.
Listen, I don't know.
God, who knows?
I like to look forward to things.
Well, see, you want to sleep with a celebrity. I didn't want anybody to know I slept with Leona Helmsley.
And yet
Well,
it's become one of those kind
Well,
of
because
classic
there was a
stories.
producer at the old station that I told him in the back studio one day. I said, yeah, I slept with Leona Helmsley one time. And he went on the air and said that. He goes, he just told me he slept with Leona Helmsley. What? I said, I didn't tell you to tell anybody.
It's just the
Then it
perfect
then it was
name
out there.
for
Yeah.
people of our generation.
Come about. Her real name is Candid. That's
That's a great question. How did you become Iggy?
Terry would appreciate this. I got it from Iggy Pop.
Okay. How?
In high
Like,
school.
where did that...
You went to
In
high
high
school?
school.
In high school.
So the name predates your career in radio.
It started in high school, of course.
Wow.
Yeah. I wrote all the sports columns for our Eaglet, the newspaper at Brentwood High School.
yeah, Brentwood.
And
Where'd you go?
Brentwood.
Brentwood?
Brentwood High School Hall of Fame, by the way.
It's like your
Whoa. You're in the Brentwood High School Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
For what?
Thanks, Brody.
For his
For my
career? What do you
accomplishments
mean?
and nothing.
In journalism or for
Probably
sports?
Probably radio and from the Megan Foundation, probably.
Terry, are you in the Ladue High School Hall of Fame?
I don't think so.
As a
Well, that's
head of
stupid that you're
industry?
not.
That's
For
kind
a
of crazy.
while, I was in the Clayton Hall of Fame.
How?
What do you mean for a while? They threw you out of their Hall
No,
of
I
Fame?
don't think, but I was a notable Claytonian.
He started a union.
But are you not anymore? You got bumped? What happened?
I don't know. My picture was up at Cafe Napoli,
That's it.
and
That's
they
something
took
there.
it down.
What do you mean they took it down?
They had to make room for...
They said I didn't come in enough.
Is that true?
Jesus.
true.
That's
Wow.
harsh.
And they got a lot of
Well,
walls
they-
in there.
I'm
mean, that's
going back.
surprising.
Leona
Here you go.
Helm,
Maybe I should
she
start
just
going in there.
has a fairly negative.
don't you
In my
guys,
mind,
here you
she's
go.
in a negative
Hey,
category.
you guys are eating away, and I'm just talking.
We're just taking a
Anybody-
bite here
I'm
and
not-
there.
don't even
Anybody
bother.
Oh,
else?
come
It's
on.
covered in egg. I'm not
I've never
touching
been
it.
accused of talking too much, so I don't know.
No, it's good. That's why we have you on here.
So I wrote all the sports columns for the Eaglet, but I also wrote a record review once a month. And at Brentwood High School, there were two cliques. You're either a jock or a freak. For the
What year did you
first
graduate?
75. We have
Okay.
our 50-year
So
anniversary
what was
coming
your
up.
sport?
50-year reunion coming up in September. I played baseball, I played basketball, and then I turned my attention to golf because I lettered in 4 years of golf.
They had high school golf back then?
Oh, yeah.
That's impressive.
We had a terrible team, but so I wrote a record review, and I would always write what we were listening to, the Jocks, Chicago, REO Speedwagon, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Yes, all that. And one of the freak girls came to me and goes, how come you write about all that crap you listen to? How about our music? I said, I don't know what your music is. She goes, you ever heard of Iggy Pop and the Stooges? I go, no. She goes, if I give you an album, will you listen to it and do a review? I said, sure. So I did, and I loved it. It was a great album, and I became an Iggy Pop fan after that. So I wrote the article on Iggy Pop and the Stooges, and all my jock friends, what is that? You don't listen to that freak stuff. What are you doing? I said, well, Shelley asked me to write it, so I did. And I said, oh, okay, Iggy. And Iggy just stuck.
And
They
that
just
was
started
it?
calling me
How
Iggy.
did
As it
like
turns out,
that?
Iggy Pop was way cooler than any of the others, right?
Oh, I think so. Iggy Pop. We went and saw him, and the Freak Girls took us to see Iggy Pop when he was in town at the American Theater. And I think he got naked on stage. I think he whipped it out on stage.
Man.
You in touch with any of the freak girls?
Yeah, I talked to Shelley about a week ago. I became a freak my senior year, so I kind of just threw sports away. I just played golf with long hair and quit the baseball team because they wanted me to cut my hair above my collar. I said, what does my long hair have to do with me playing second base? Well, that's our policy. I said, well, I'm not getting a cut. So I was off the baseball team, off the basketball team.
I
And
met
golf still
Iggy
let me.
Pop in San Francisco.
Did you?
Staying at the hotel, and I kept meeting him. He'd be sitting in the lobby all
Take
the
a
time.
drink.
Nice guy. Well,
I would love to meet Iggy Pop. I would like to interview him, but I can't get a hold of him.
He's still alive?
nice guy.
Oh yeah, he's still performing, and he's like,
Is he really?
80 and still doing it with his shirt off. It's
Well,
amazing.
he was very, very skinny.
Yeah.
You know, like
But he's
bone
now.
thin.
I've seen him recently. He's got a belly.
Yeah.
Protrude. I mean, he's got
Yeah,
a.
he's got kind of
He's
a
78.
punch on him.
Axl
Yeah,
Rose
he's
looks
got-
terrible.
But he's still out there performing. And speaking of music, I do want to ask
Yes,
Terry
let's,
about
let's
this.
talk about our very odd coincidence.
We were at a concert together. We didn't even know. You were on TMA,
Yeah, I was.
which I still listen to every day. Love those boys. Miss them.
We talked about you today.
I heard that. I heard
plugged
you
that you
did.
were coming on.
I
Well,
heard
I
you.
want to bring that audience over here.
I don't blame you. I don't know how many are going to come for me, but
Well,
they should come listen to you guys.
They
Are
love
you kidding? You are beloved.
Yeah, yeah.
Without,
You're really
I
selling
mean,
yourself short.
Yeah, that is not pandering. And I know you know this. You are beloved by everyone in that audience.
I will say, when I was let
And
go,
on the show.
it made me feel good because I got over 200 texts, DMs, emails from people saying, this sucks, we're going to miss you on the show, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I started my Patreon page, because I figured, okay, I'll do the same stuff on the show. I'll do it on my Patreon page. I'll tell hedonism stories. I'll do interviews. I'll talk about this. I'll do golf recaps, whatever. And so I
Are
figured,
you still doing it?
yeah.
Well, so how do people find you on
That
Patreon?
200 only amounted to like 60 people have joined, but
But that's hey, you know what?
I
You
do
couldn't-
it. It's a
how many
little extra
people can
money.
Get 60 people
it's a little
paying
extra
to-
money, but I do it for fun.
Yeah.
You can just go to patreon.com/Iggy Uncut,
Ooh,
and it's only $5 a month. So
Iggy Uncut.
don't drink a cup of coffee today, and guess
That's
what?
some
You get enough
sort
money
of
for the
like
month.
circumcision joke.
I'm guessing
That
it's
is-
the turkey
yeah, I think that's what it has to do with it.
egg white wrap. That it's got.
Where's
It's the only
I
wrap.
don't
It's the
see a
top
wrap.
one. Well, it's the very top one.
all the way at the top.
I interviewed-
Egg white, spinach, tomato, and white cheese. What is white cheese?
I don't know, white cheddar.
It could be.
That
It could be
sounds
white
like
cheddar.
it's-
It could be white American. I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
it sounds
could
like-
be.
or
I mean, there's a
maybe
lot
it's
of white
not
cheese.
cheese
Why
at
don't you
all.
tell him the story
Goat
about
milk.
it? So what did
Yeah.
we?
So Terry was on the TMA a couple weeks ago, and he was talking. He had a Ramones shirt on, and Tim asked him about it. He said, "Well, I went and saw the Ramones back in like '79, but I went to see the Runaways who were playing." And I'm thinking, I've told the story on the air too, but we went to the show, and we went to see just the Runaways, like you did.
Of course.
And
Tell him why.
if you remember,
I've been a lot of people.
Cherie Curie. There's one.
listening.
There's somebody I've interviewed that I love. Cherie Curie, the lead singer for the
Sherry
Runaways.
Curry. She was the big deal.
Yeah,
Not Joan
Don't
Jett.
say Sherry. She likes to say Cherie.
Joan Jett
You
was
gotta
in the
say Cherie.
Runaways?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joan
Joan
Jett.
Jett was.
That's
in the
where
run-
this story is going, Ed, which maybe a lot of your listeners haven't heard if they don't listen to TMA. But if you remember, the album cover was a picture of Cherie Curie in the microphone with her garter and panties and stockings on.
Yes, that's why I went to the show.
I had that. No, it was a picture of her in black leather. Actually, she wore that lingerie to
the-
sing,
yeah.
but the album was her in black leather. I went to, if you remember, the old head shop down in Webster, Spectrum,
Yes.
They would put screen printing on shirts. So I go down there, I took the album cover, they put it on a t-shirt for me.
Oh, cool.
We're standing in front of the stage, and I found a picture on an old Mississippi Nights page.
Oh, geez, Mississippi Nights.
Because you talked about that, I went and searched. And it says, here's the night the Ramones and the Runaways played Rico's in Belleville.
Is that where it was? I didn't remember. Yeah.
And there's a picture of, and Cherie's not in the picture, it's Joan Jett, Lita Ford, and Sandy West, and I guess they were doing a song without her. And you can see the back of my head and my brother's head right in front of the stage.
Really?
Yeah, because I know my brother's hair anywhere, and my head, I have kind of like a feathered look. And so, like, after the second song, Cherie comes down, bends down, she goes, I love that shirt. Where did you get it? And I said, I had it made. She goes, I love it. I said, you want it? I took it off and gave it to her. The whole rest of the concert, I had no shirt on.
Wow.
And they invited us. They invited us backstage after the show.
Oh my God.
So we go backstage. We're hanging out with Cherie, and my friend Frank, who drove. Cherie goes, we're having a party at the hotel. You guys want to come join?
Come on.
I said, sure, we'd love to. Frank goes, we can't. I got to go see Kim, his girlfriend. I said, what do you got to go see Kim? We're going to a party. I told Kim I'd pick her up. We got to leave. So we didn't go because he had to go pick up his girlfriend. And he drove.
I'd kill him.
But as I'm walking out, Joan Jett, and I guess it was kind of an act back then that she had to pretend like she liked guys. She goes, you guys are going to miss it. And she grabbed and started playing with my butt as I walked away.
Oh, man.
Never washed his butt again.
That was it. Well, he hadn't washed it before then either.
No, that's
but
a
this gave him
wonder-
a reason.
So that's
No,
my
but
story of the same
You
concert.
don't realize back then, when was it? 70s?
I think
Or
that was
60s?
79 was the concert, I think.
Whatever it was. I mean, I was married at the time. And I remember you just didn't see that she would perform. Her big song was Cherry Bomb, which actually gets played now in movies and things like that. And she was just,
It was a very different time, I think. I mean, for a lot of reasons, but I think when you didn't have more than 3 or 4 television stations, just when you saw celebrities, and I think it makes what Taylor Swift did actually all the more impressive. There are so many media sources, so much content to consume.
Yeah.
But back then, when you had Elvis and the Beatles and Michael Jackson, they're really, you almost couldn't avoid seeing them because of the limited number of media outlets. And now to see Taylor Swift do that in today, and I've made this argument, I'm sure, on this podcast before, I think Taylor Swift there are only 4 people who have ever achieved what she has. And I think it's the Beatles, Michael Jackson, and Elvis in terms of the level of enthusiasm and rabid nature of their fan base. I don't know that anyone else has accomplished that. And to accomplish it today is, I think, arguably more impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably is.
Well,
It probably
of course,
is.
They didn't have anything there wasn't much before them. I guess Frank Sinatra, in terms of a giant live act.
Yeah, maybe as a live act.
That for young people.
Yeah,
was
for
really
young people,
enthusiastic.
right? I mean, it's hard to believe that for the longest stretch in this country, the biggest star was Bing Crosby. Can you imagine a guy like that today being the biggest star in entertainment? It would be unheard of. It would be like, I think back then it was a very adult-oriented thing. Entertainment was more adult, and they had very specific things for kids. And now I think the way things have gone, it's all for teenagers. And then if ever people want to participate, they can, but that's where all the money is.
Do you remember the Ramones that night?
I didn't see him.
Oh,
We
it was
left.
the fastest thing. They played just incredibly like thrash metal.
What year was this roughly?
I think it was 79.
Okay, so certainly they were still in their prime.
If people came, they had guys there with towels that would run up to them while they played, drying them off because they were sweating so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the
I
fastest.
saw this thing on them on the internet the other day, actually, about how punk music and their role in it and the other groups, it was a Jewish art form. It's a Jewish industry. The Ramones are Jewish. Almost every lead person in that world that started that whole world was it was an offshoot of, because the Jewish songwriters very well known. Obviously, all of Broadway traditionally was Jewish, and
Iggy
all
Pop's
the Christmas
Jewish. Iggy
songs.
Pop's Jewish.
He's Jewish. They all are.
Well, I would think it started in New York City, right?
I would imagine some
punk
underground
scene,
there. Yeah, and but I never associated the two. I never thought of it as any kind of Jewish art form. But when they laid this out, I was like, wow. a whole other area that I really didn't know very much about the history.
And even up through the Beastie Boys.
Who was the guy?
were-
Joey Ramone, the real
Yeah.
weird-looking guy.
Yeah, I didn't know till
Jewish
about
guy.
10 years ago that none of them were brothers.
Yeah, that was
They
another
were
thing.
just all.
They all-
Were
they all just
none
took
of
the
them
name
brothers? I
Ramone.
thought maybe 2 of them
No,
were.
they
and
all
the
just-
rest of them
they
were.
were joined the band, got
They
the last
just
name
all
Ramone.
took the last name Ramone.
Yeah. Well, I know, that's
Joey
awesome.
Ramone.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, see, I always thought, and people would tell me who follow rock and roll in New York, that the Ramones saved rock and roll in New York. And I will say, I think it's Blue Oyster Cult.
I wouldn't recognize any of
Blue
their
Oyster
songs.
Cult.
Oyster
You would
Cult,
know the
you
one
think,
from the
more than the
Cowbell sketch.
Ramones?
Don't Fear the Reaper. You'd know that one.
That's not Ramones.
That's Blue Oyster Cult. That's who he's
Yeah.
talking
You think
about.
they
I
were
thought you were
bigger than
talking
the
about
Ramones? Or more
I think
influential?
later on they were.
Huh.
Because of the Ramones are more of like a punk where, Blue Oyster Cult was rock. Hard rock. I think I've seen them 6 times. That was
Wow.
like my
Yeah, but
favorite band to go see.
I mean, I wasn't old enough then, but it just seems like now the Ramones, I would think of as being way more influential, even though they weren't really a great band, were they?
I don't think they were great musicians, no, but they could.
It was very simple music.
Right.
The thing about it, it was just manic.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the guys were sweating so bad because they were playing as fast as you could humanly.
If you think about
move
it,
your arm.
even Gabe Carabell and and Jesse, they're Jewish, still animals, and
There you go.
They're making a name for themselves in the punk world. If you're watching, we listen. We listen.
Yeah.
But some people just become, for whatever reason, they became important. I don't know if it was their talent or when they came along.
Right time, right place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do we got there? It looks
I
like
think
there's
we got
still
one more
something-
left.
Yeah, what
I
are we
think
looking
that's
at
the
there? 2 more?
Joni's turkey sausage sandwich. Do we have 2 more? I liked that turkey sausage egg white wrap, by the way. I'm a big breakfast burrito fan. I like a breakfast burrito.
I don't think we've had the chicken avocado. That's the one I've been looking forward to. Is that
Taco
chicken
Bell?
avocado?
There was a time in my life that I really loved Taco Bell, and I think Taco Bell, in the right context, still is delicious. Oh,
Well, let
this
me
is gonna
ask
be
you a
tough.
question, Iggy. What's the best? Name some of the great concerts people you've
Is
seen
that the
live.
chicken avocado?
Yeah, I
If
think so.
anybody has heard of these 2 groups,
What'd you say? Oh, this is if this is the chicken avocado, bacon, lettuce, tomato, roasted garlic, aioli, provel, and a French bread. So yeah,
And I'm assuming chicken and avocado.
you know what?
You know, we
I'm
got-
just reading what it
I know.
says.
We got $30 worth of free food, so we
So,
got to push it.
Oh,
Greatest
we don't
concerts.
get anything for free.
Greatest concerts,
wish.
you're saying?
We pay double.
I'm going to name these 2 groups, and if anybody's heard of them, Terry would have. And I don't even know if Terry's familiar with them. The Straubs and Renaissance.
And
The
who?
Straubs,
Renaissance.
Straubs and Renaissance.
like the grocery store.
I don't know.
Annie Haslam.
I
Could
may
hit like
be-
8 different octaves. I've interviewed Annie.
No. I don't
Current or old?
They just played their final farewell tour at the God, what's the place out in Illinois?
Were these local bands?
Pops.
No, Wildly Theater. They came and played the Wildly Theater.
Never
And I-
heard
and I
of the
went-
theater.
Where's that over
Went
in-
and saw 'em with my brother.
Where on the east side?
Yeah, Wildly
What's your
Theater.
brother do?
Which one?
All
The
of them.
one that you went to the thing with.
Skip is in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
I got a brother Kevin who is down in Florida
Are you from here originally? Are you a St. Louis guy?
all my life except for
Yeah, I knew about high school. I just didn't know if he was
Brentwood
born
joined Clayton. They have a consolidated football
I
team.
think because they couldn't, no
Field the
school
team.
could field their own team.
Yeah, they're very tiny school. I think there were 75 people in my graduating
You're
class.
seeing more and more of that. Well, people aren't having kids the way that they used to, and a lot of these high schools, when they're
Oh, you're not part of this population crash.
Listen,
panic, are you?
I hope the population. There's no. Let me say this. I'm not part of the panic. I think it's a good thing.
Well, wait.
There are too many people.
He brought up something interesting.
Yeah.
People aren't having children the way they used to. So standard sex does not produce a child anymore?
Oh my God, you
They
guys!
don't do it at the rate because they start too late.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, I
My
think
mother had
also
you dropped a bunch of lettuce on the microphone there. It's kind of funny, or it might be cheese. I'm not sure.
it's I was
you
just
did.
talking to Jim Cantillon about this the other day. I don't know why it is, but he was saying, because I mentioned that there was a family down the street from me that had, I think, 11 kids,
That's very
Catholic family. And he said, oh, yeah, when I grew up, grew up around a lot of Catholics. Iggy, let me throw you a sandwich.
I've got like 5 over here.
Well, you better start eating.
Well, again,
Or
I'm
eat
the one
something,
talking,
take
and
a
I don't
bite.
need. Just like on the radio, I just do nothing
and
but
he
talk.
said, yeah, when he was growing up, there were a lot of those families, at least several in his school with, 10, 11 kids. You do not hear about that anymore.
Well, remember Polo Drive?
Well, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
we had neighbors who had 8.
No,
We had 7. My mom had 7.
No.
And 2
How many did they have?
miscarriages.
I think the Brennans had 11.
Didn't it?
I think so. At one point they had 8, but you just don't hear about that anymore. And if you think about it, and maybe things were very different then, but today, if you have 11 kids and you're not homeless, you are rich if you don't have those kids. Rich. Like
gotta have 'em a farm.
probably private jet rich.
I think back in the day, like my parents had 7 kids.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, and 2 miscarriages, so we could have 9. I just think all they wanted to do was raise a family. Now I think people are more interested in their careers, and I can't have this career I have working on Wall Street, and my husband's a doctor, if I'm taking care of 5 kids. So maybe they have the 1 kid and they hire a nanny to take care
Well,
of
it's
it.
money, too.
You could also raise a kid on one income.
Yeah, my mom didn't work. She was a
But think
stay-at-home
about
mom.
it. Even a cheap school, what does it cost to go to 4 years of college? $60,000?
A year.
A year, yeah.
No, I mean, I'm sure there are cheaper schools.
I doubt
Once you factor in food and
Yeah.
living and books and
You can't get a 4-year
Travel.
degree for $60,000 at any
well, but
school in the
what,
country.
then what can you get it?
You get kids that don't go to school, and
I mean, who's got that kind of money?
no, they give
Fannie Mae?
They give them loans, right? Exactly, and then they make them pay till they die, and that's basically it.
That's the problem. Because now, the room and board is as much or more than tuition in a lot of cases.
Listen, no, you're not getting a bargain on food
What is this?
and shelter.
Chicken?
Isn't
Good
that
job.
terrible?
good job, Chris.
That you couldn't identify chicken? Yeah,
No,
it has me a little
no,
bit
no,
concerned.
no.
If
Well,
I'm being honest.
give me your list of top 3 things it could have been.
No, I'm talking about the how
Kids?
expensive.
No, it's not
sending
even just the
kids to
expense,
school
too.
is.
Look at the age. Take my mom. By the time my mom was 25, she already had 3 kids. She was done having her kids by 25. Nowadays, you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody who's even looking to conceive a child at 25.
Oh.
They're just starting way too late, and that just closes the window. So they just don't have the time to have more.
Or they don't have the money to have a kid at
They can.
an early
'cause
age.
Back then, people never thought like that. You
Iggy,
just figured
would
we'll
you
deal with
hand
it.
this to that young lady.
Because you didn't have to think like that back then. Minimum wage, you could get, you could live.
My dad raised 7 kids as, now granted, he was probably the most well-known bartender in St. Louis,
Where did he tend?
Charcoal House,
Oh, wow.
You make some money there.
and he was a bookie.
That helps.
Yeah. So, but he raised a family like that. We never missed a meal. We
Is the
all ate together.
bookie career dead now that gambling's become so easy and so legal and sports gambling and you can do it pretty much everywhere? Have they killed that profession,
I
or
have
is
a-
it still there for some?
I don't think so.
I still
think
have
it's
a bookie.
there.
You do.
Because you can't gamble in St. Louis. I can't make bets in St. Louis
Yeah, you
unless I
can.
want to go across the river.
I thought you
No,
were kidding. I thought-
DraftKings.
Yeah,
You
I
can't.
thought.
Sure you can.
Not in Missouri, you can't.
I thought that the law changed at the last election. I thought we
It did. They passed it, but it's still not in law yet.
Are you sure?
I think it's supposed to go into law in December.
I'm almost positive I can make a bet on DraftKings.
You can play.
right
You can
now.
play fantasy draft, which I do. I play fantasy golf, but I
Let's
can't make
see.
a bet.
Well, once that goes into effect, is that going to? Will you still need a bookie, or is that going to? Is this a profession that's now dying? Is he basically selling?
Yeah, I'll probably
horse buggies?
use DraftKings.
What's
or,
the most you ever won on a bet?
$2,000.
Oh, that's a nice bet.
I was trying to think.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I bet a baseball. I bet a baseball game for $1,000.
oh my God, a baseball game? That's the last thing to
And
bet.
the team was plus 200, so I doubled it.
Gambling online had the sort of
It was a
gambling
long time ago when I had money.
influencers. It has really, I think, done a disservice to a lot of people.
Gambling's a tough thing. A lot of people can't handle it.
I don't.
I just
do it
like
at all.
I just like
And
playing
a lot of-
DraftKings, playing DFS games, play golf every week. Just play a little $3 game or a $5 team. If I get lucky and win, I win $20,000. But if I don't, I cash. I make $8-10. Who cares?
Huh? I'm just not getting into it at all.
I'm going to answer Terry's question now. An hour later. Renaissance and Straubs was my favorite concert at the time. And go look them up on YouTube, whatever. Renaissance and the Straubs. The Straubs is like a progressive rock band from the 60s and 70s. STRAWBS.
Straubs.
And Renaissance, Annie Haslam has the most beautiful voice in the world. Back then, I would probably check out "Ashes Are Burning" is the name of the song. But that was my favorite concert up until 2023. I'd taken my first girlfriend, the first girl I ever kissed in my life, Connie Lassiter. We've been dating for a couple years.
Why does that name sound familiar?
I probably talk about her every day on the show when I was on the show.
What is she doing now? But
I have no clue.
Well, now that she's got the restraining order, she can live a little bit
these
more
people
of
I
her
went to
life.
high school with probably just dread, like, oh, is he going to bring my name up today? And I just bring them up out of the blue. I remember Greg Bird, Chris Bird, yeah. But that was a great show because I love both those bands and it was very intimate. And we liked the 10th row of, I think, the Fox Theater. But in 2023, I was fortunate enough to get tickets to go see The Cure at the America Center in Chicago.
And that was great.
And 3 hours of just, The Cure is my favorite band. And they hadn't been in St. Louis for like 20 years. They don't
So
tour
you know
anymore.
all their songs.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
And but their last 4 encores were like Boys Don't Cry, Heaven, Friday I'm in Love. They played all the great ones. The last
You're
4
a real
songs.
music guy.
Were they like Morrissey
I feel like
adjacent?
he should
The
have been
Cure?
doing more music on the radio and less sports. Not
They
that you're
kind of
not a
that
sports
genre?
guy, but you're more passionate about
Well,
music.
I wanted to be a KC jock when I was in high school. Never turned out. And little I know that I would go work right next door to him.
You
every
got
day.
close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
one
was
door
on
down.
Learn's show once. I was in
Is
there.
The Cure kind of like Morrissey?
Not that. I mean, it's kind of that kind of lyrics, kind of like
Is the main
dark
singer
lyrics.
an odd-looking guy?
Robert Smith. I love Robert Smith. That's hair I'd die for too, and it's still kind of gray and kind of all over the place. But yeah,
Or the Smiths? Or no, who was the other?
Smiths and Morrissey. Morrissey played with the Smiths, and then he went solo. I was supposed to
Okay.
see him like 2 weeks ago, and he canceled like he does like every other month. This guy cancels more concerts than anybody I know. Morrissey.
Not as many as Bob Vylan.
Well, he was there the other
that?
night. Didn't he show up the other
You
night?
didn't see that whole thing? Oh, there's this guy.
Oh, they said Bob Dylan.
No, Bob Vylan is
Yes.
a guy who was playing the Glastonbury Music Festival and
Oh,
said
yeah.
some controversial political things. And as a result, the United States canceled his visa right before he's about to embark upon like a 30-city U.S. tour. So he canceled a lot
That's a
of
pretty big
concerts.
festival too.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, some of my favorite concerts. I saw. I'm pretty sure if I got it right, I saw Queen.
Wow.
But I believe. I'm pretty sure Peter Frampton opened for him.
Huh.
And when Frampton Comes Alive just came out,
Oh, wow.
and I've seen Queen 3 times. I've been fortunate enough. I mean, in concert, Freddie
In their
Mercury.
prime?
Freddie Mercury.
I
was
would
just-
have loved to have
With
seen
Freddie,
Queen in
yeah.
concert.
That was back when,
I just
before they
thought-
came out with all this, "You're my best friend." They actually had rock and roll songs before
Right.
that, which are a great. Seen Rush. I actually waited on Rush twice at the Breckenridge when they came in. Waited on. They asked me to go have a drink with them in the bar. I had to get permission to go in the bar, and they just destroyed that place. I mean, they're getting up there, kicking the old Jewish piano player out while they're up there playing music, and Geddy Lee is
I
smashed.
just saw Peter Frampton about 2 years ago.
In concert?
He's aged.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
did
no
a.
hair. Yeah.
he did a farewell.
Yeah,
We
he
want more
came,
sandwich?
He came to
Oh, man.
one of the casinos, which must be. I'm just wondering what goes through their heads as they're sitting backstage waiting to go out in front of like 800, when they've played these giant.
Yeah, well, that's like, and that's what's great about Spinal Tap is you get like some of those moments captured. Playing the amusement parks when you're at the tail
What do
end
you
of it
think
all.
Willie Nelson, he's got to be, is he in his 90s
Yes.
or
Yeah.
just close
No,
to it?
he's in
him
his
and Dylan.
nose.
Well, this
both
is
close
the
to 90.
worst episode of the podcast. This podcast has been Ed's worst nightmare food-wise.
I know it's
Ed hates eggs.
eggs are on everything, but that's fine.
The stuff of nightmares.
Well, you're one of the hosts of the show. Can't you order separately? So I don't want eggs on
listen,
anything.
I talk to my producers.
He goes with the flows.
No, but it must be. I hope they're all very wealthy and and they just want to be in front of a
Willie
audience
Nelson's got to
and
be a
play
wealthy guy, no?
Yeah, they just
I
love
think he
playing.
didn't he have like
He had some tax troubles,
like
but that was
7-figure tax.
but that was 20 years ago.
it's 7-figure.
But he's Willie
I think he
Nelson.
owed about $20 million.
Those guys
I
just-
remember the interest keeps
I
piling.
suspect that Willie Nelson
I wonder
is
why I
a.
didn't call one of these tax relief places.
So you think he's doing it for the money?
I'm pretty sure he contacted a lawyer
I
when
think a
all of
lot
that
of
went
these
down.
people are doing it for the money.
No.
Yeah,
Which
I'm
it should be
surprised-
way more
Oh,
than that,
yeah,
but
I mean,
that's the tax issues.
And he works
you go.
still.
I just think that it's just like a baseball player. When they get out of baseball, they got to find something to do to be competitive, so they go play golf
Yeah.
or whatever. They got to be great at something.
Yeah, you just hate it like when Pete Rose, remember, used to be in a little booth in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace, and the back in he was with a sign in front of some sort of sports shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Willie.
Pete.
Pete Rose will be here Tuesday at 3:00.
You were very upset about the posthumous election to the Hall of Fame.
I'm really
he's
upset.
not-
First of
about
all, he
that.
hasn't been elected to
Not in-
anything
not in
yet.
yet.
But I think that's just mean. You know, if he gambled and it was that bad, you keep him out forever. But to just put him in a year after
First of all, nobody's
he dies,
putting him in a year after he dies. He's not even eligible for 2 years.
Well, whatever it is, to do it right when he dies,
But
or
he'll
at
go
least
in, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how the voters are going to treat him. You know, it's only a panel of 16 people, and he needs 12 votes. It's still it's going to require further examination. Personally, I don't have the problem that you did. I always felt like a lifetime ban should automatically expire when you die, and then therefore your eligibility automatically comes.
Makes a lot of
The
sense.
Hall of Fame didn't make him eligible. It was that Major League Baseball acknowledged
make
that
an
his,
annou- but they made an
it-
announcement.
Yeah, but that's not the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame has their own system.
Okay.
And Major League Baseball had him on a permanent ban.
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame has a rule that says if you're on a permanent ban, you can't even be considered. Major League Baseball changed their rule and said that the permanent ban basically ends when you die because it was a lifetime ban. So the Hall of Fame didn't do anything about it. It just, by definition, it made them
Made him
automatically eligible.
Well, I believe he'll be put in, and I could be wrong. It's based on nothing.
He probably will, and he probably
and
should
if they
be.
do put him in, I think it's cruel. I think it's good he's in, but I just think it would have meant something to him.
They should have put Dave Parker in 20 years ago. They finally elected Dave Parker in December. The
Yeah.
induction is in 3 weeks. He died 2 days ago.
Well, that's
and he's
a-
going to miss the induction.
that's
It happens.
another
That's
tragedy.
But at least-
that's
yes.
life, or that's
Listen,
death.
You know,
Did you
think-
see? Speaking
I
of
don't
sports,
know.
did
What
you
is
see SGA Shane Gilgeous Alexander, who plays for Oklahoma City? Did you see his contract?
No, how much?
It was like $70 million a year.
He gets about $1 million a game, just
Well,
under $1
that's-
million a
that's
game.
If you today, I mean,
It's the biggest
basketball-
contract in
but
the NBA.
basketball has just exploded in terms of
It has.
payment.
And also, you're a little easy. I think that some sports, they have the smallest roster of any professional
true.
sport, and that does allow, and they have a lot of games.
Right.
See, football
And no
has
less
got
revenue.
the most players and the fewest games.
Right.
You get to basketball, you get a lot of games. You don't have the most, but you have a lot. You have 82 games.
What do you need?
But how many
Napkin.
40, $50 million a year players?
There's a lot in basketball.
basketball.
Yeah, baskall is loaded because they.
I mean,
they don't
every
have to
team
field that
has
many.
that.
Not only do they not have to field that many players, but it's one of the only sports that, if you have two great players on your team, you have a legitimate shot at winning a championship. There's no other sport that you could point to, and on the strength of just one key star and one supporting star, no other sport does that do squat for you except for basketball.
Although it doesn't do squat for a lot of teams in the NBA.
They
Have
say
it?
I'm stars, Terry.
no, they need a megastar
well,
and then a supporting
look at the
character.
Lakers. They were out in the first round. Yeah, but they've been playing
that's just
every
one.
year.
Terry,
Well, that's just
same age anymore. What is he?
that's 1 year though.
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
He's 42.
well,
Who
that's
is
just
that man?
That's right.
Security, security.
But that's just
You
one
see what
team.
happens?
Also,
It's-
I mean,
it seems
basketball
not gonna be
But
this
they
week.
obviously.
all have two $40 million players now.
But that's just because that happens to be their two best. That's not like a legitimate megastar and then a supporting character.
And I think basketball players probably make a lot in endorsements.
They do.
of course,
They're just more famous.
Well, and you
they
know what?
stand out.
They
They're
stand
tall.
out exactly.
they're not
And
wearing
there's no
less
helmet.
Yeah.
So you're
Right.
seeing them. You know what they look like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of close-ups. They also the athletic shoes, the basketball shoes.
Yeah.
have the huge advantage because you can buy the actual shoes that they're wearing on the court. Most other sports, you're wearing cleats. So it's even if you had a good baseball shoe, it doesn't mean anything. That's not the one they're wearing on the field.
You know, which makes me think, for all you watching, these shirts are available. This is what I like to
that
call
looks
a
like
Terry shirt.
at Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I right?
Well, they're,
he does. At Bass
they're
Pro
just
Shop.
the middleman.
What's the name
you
of
can
that
buy
company?
it from
Red something.
what is it? Red. You're right.
Yeah, I got a pair of waders by Red Rooster, Red something.
No,
It
what
just
what is
says
his brand?
shirt on the back on the tag.
That's
It is
great.
red. It is Red something.
No, but any of you know, I got a packages of 12 of them for $8. So just give me a
Must
call.
be quality.
He does.
Trying to make a little.
Are you,
know.
speaking of giving me a call, you were on Cameo for a while, right?
I still am.
Are you? You get many?
Not lately. It's kind of died down lately. I've been doing it for 3 years now.
What does an Iggy Cameo cost?
I think 25.
And what do you get?
Whatever they want. I'm not one of these celebrities that, hey, John, I heard it's your birthday today. Happy birthday from Iggy. Hope you have a great day.
No,
30
you give them
seconds.
their money's worth.
I've given 7-minute cameos before.
Hey, you know, that's something. Got Meatloaf, God rest his soul. Because, you know, my mother was a huge Meatloaf fan. So was I. I ordered my mom a Meatloaf
Both the
cameo.
singer and the dish.
Yeah, both.
Meatloaf.
I love them both. But Meatloaf
Is he
did
still alive?
No,
No,
he died
he died?
COVID. He did a full half hour
Really?
for my
Oh,
mom.
my God.
Yeah, and he did a totally different half hour for me because I'm
Half
like,
hour?
I got myself one eventually because I'm like, I am so curious. Is this normal for this guy? And if it is he just going to tell the same stories? Gave her a half hour, gave me about 26 minutes, totally different
Do
material.
you still have it?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, what do you
that
do when we
cost?
run out of material? It wasn't very expensive, maybe $100, $125. I mean, the guy just liked engaging.
talking.
I usually want people to, they want me to cuck their whoever. It's the funniest thing, you know, because they send you a script.
Yeah.
Cameo says you have a request, and it says, for John from Tim, you know, Iggy.
Oh, no, not more food.
Wait, one more.
Oh, God, I'm full.
It's my best friend's birthday. He was in my wedding. He was my best man. I've known him for 40 years. Please wish him happy birthday, and then cuck the hell out of him. Like, what the hell, man? So that's what most of my
Is
cameos
that
are.
still
just-
real big? Remember,
Hucking?
we used to do it every
Or
week.
Cameo.
Cameos?
Yeah, didn't we?
Well, well, you know, and they would be big if we promoted it. We went through a little thing. We just did it for free for fans, you know, for the
during
clients.
COVID,
And,
wasn't
yeah.
it?
Little shout outs and lifts or whatever. We did really well for a while. We probably did 70 or 80 of them, and then we just stopped promoting it.
You know,
But
who
if
was
anybody
good?
out there wants a personally recorded
You know
message
who
from
was
Andy or
good,
Terry or myself, I can't speak for Iggy, but you can get him on Cameo.
Triumph.
Yeah, it's,
The insult. He was the best.
He's a funny guy.
Robert Smigel did a cameo for us.
Oh, yeah?
And to raise money for his charity, and he did it as Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
Oh, yeah?
He roasted the hell out of us. The guy did his research. All we said to him was, we're a big personal injury law firm, and we can take a joke. That was all the instruction we gave him.
And he
went online, researched us, started ripping all of us
Yeah.
in the most wonderful way.
Yeah, he was great.
And then at the very end, we happen to have one attorney that has this really big, long head of hair. Now we have more than one, but at the time we just had the. And at the very end of his video, he roasted that guy out of nowhere. Nobody would have saw it come and said, "This guy takes his work
he-
Does
seriously."
Robert Smigel have a career outside of Triumph? Does he
Oh
perform?
yeah. Oh, big time.
No. But like as a stand-up, does he perform?
No, not as a stand-up.
Okay, so
He's a
it's-
writer.
Okay, so that's why he does the Triumph. He's not he doesn't want to be the face of the operation.
No, he. I mean, you see him on SNL always, and he was in those old, Chicago Bear sketches. You know, he'd be in that.
Oh,
But
those were fun.
he's a writer. He's a brilliantly funny guy. And after that, I gave him a nice tip because he was raising money for his charity, and I was just so impressed that he put in so much effort. And then he and I texted with each other for a while after that.
Until you
and he
gave
was-
him career advice.
Yeah, well, he was very encouraging over my videos because that was at the time I was doing a lot of
I
those.
love a good cinnamon bun.
Well, yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Maybe
Iggy.
we can.
Kansas City, I think, is like a cinnamon bun.
over the rest of it.
It's a thing there.
If you could have one wish, and it can't be like superhero stuff, what would you want? What for your rest of your life? How old a man are you?
I will be 68 in July.
Okay. So what would your wish be for the next 5-10 years? Something like that.
It's stupid 'cause it's what everybody wishes, but just that everybody would get along, that this country could just be at
But a
peace with
personal
everybody.
wish.
Personal?
Yeah, no cure for cancer.
Well, Jeff Bezos screwed me out of $440.
Wait, go ahead. Was this an Amazon purchase?
Yeah,
or?
it was Amazon was double charging me on my Amazon Prime account for 2 years.
Okay.
Actually 3 years. Because I just looked at it one day because I really didn't pay attention. I looked at it and said, why is it, what is this, 1995 and 1995 again? And I just thought it was they charge you and then they show you they're charging and then it goes into effect. That's what I thought.
How the rich get richer, Iggy.
Until I decided, I looked and I said, wait a minute, no, it took it off twice and it took me 3 years to figure this out. So I called my bank and I said, can you go back and check how far back can you go? She goes, let me go back 3 years. So she goes, yeah, they've been double charging you for 3 years. I call Amazon, I get customer support. I said, you guys have been double charging me for 3 years. And they look, they go, well, our records only go back a year, so we can only pay you back for a year. I said,
How convenient.
How can my little bank in St. Louis go back 3 years and Amazon can go back one? Well, we're only allowed to pay you for 1 year.
How do you think
So
he affords getting
He screwed me out of $440.
Did they actually think that they were allowed to charge you double?
I don't know.
They've been unjustly enriched.
Yeah.
You should
So-
sue them.
Here's the
So
problem.
my wish is that if Bezos, I tweeted out the other day, congratulations on your, $10 million wedding. Congratulations on your $400 billion in the bank. Most of that, I'm glad I could donate the $440 you screwed me out of by double charging me for 3 years.
What the hell?
At least that probably bought you one glass of wine in Venice. Enjoy.
I don't think it
my
got him a
my
glass of
wish
wine.
would be that he saw that and said, "Why do we screw this guy? Write him a check for $10 million."
Yeah.
And
Wouldn't
then
that be nice?
I get a check from $10 million from Bezos because he screwed up.
What if he just wrote you a check for the 440 plus
I'd
interest?
be happy with that because he would be.
I think 10 million is actually a somewhat, and I'm serious here, a somewhat modest wedding for somebody like that.
Yeah,
when
but
you
it's
when
a
you have
waste
that
of, it's a
level of
waste
wealth.
of money when you know
Doesn't
he's probably gonna have a third wedding eventually. So
Did you know who's the woman who used to go out with Gavin Newsom? That's the big deal with. She's now the ambassador to Greece.
Yeah, Trump Jr.'s
She's got
girlfriend.
that weird look. Doesn't Bezos' wife have that same weird?
that's a
kinda
thing.
Over plastic surgery.
What is her name? Guilfoyle.
Lauren Sanchez.
No, Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Yeah, Guilfoyle,
Is-
but the
she's-
wife is Sanchez.
But she's got that too much plastic surgery look.
Yeah.
And so does
she
Sanchez.
she was a cute little thing before she had the surgery. There was a picture of her when he met her. Like, God, she's a cute little thing, and now it's like a robot. It's not. Is there anything real on her?
I love that Trump Jr. was just like, hey, Dad, I'm kind of done here. Can you send her to Greece for 4 years?
I know, isn't that just the best?
Because
I mean, talk about that's the best.
it's hard to think that that's not exactly what happened.
Of course, it's exactly what happened. Of course, it is. And I think that that's just the best.
Anyway, I feel like we've said it all. We've eaten
Have we
some
said
of
it all? I feel like there's still so much more there.
Iggy,
Yeah.
are you going to finish that cinnamon bun?
No, you can have it.
Iggy, tell me a story.
I haven't. I got more plates in front of me than I've had in a month.
Is there a go-to,
I
like your
can't-
best
you
story,
wanna share it?
life experience, something that happened to you that I have not yet heard?
Well, I think about
And
that.
did it happen? And why did it happen at Hedonism?
Well, I think about that. Let me tell you about what I'm doing now, if you don't mind.
Yeah. No,
Besides the Patreon, which you can go to patreon.com/IggyUncut, there's stories up there. There's golf reviews. There's movie reviews. There's interviews. I got Joe Buck coming up this week. Joe Theismann coming up when we get closer to camps. Costas is up there. And a lot of funny stories.
The big names.
But I'm also helping out. I don't know if you Christopher Pondoff. He's a sponsor on TMA, but he also is part of Illinois Recovery Center.
Okay.
He has a podcast called Pondoff's Anonymous. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to you guys because you entertain me, and I like to. Now that I'm down on the hill, I want to know all about where all the sandwich places are at. But he does a podcast where he gets people that are in recovery that had addiction problems and have beaten it, have gone through recovery, their stories. I mean, there's some tremendous stories on there.
I'll bet.
There's one, Christina, who talked about how she was a fitness model. And she was doing well, but then she noticed these girls around her bulking up and getting bigger, so she started taking steroids, got addicted to that. Then she started doing coke and got addicted to crack and couldn't pay her crack dealer, so they sold her into sex slavery in a hotel for a year.
Oh, my God.
And now she's got 2 kids, married, couldn't be happier, sober for 7-8 years. So, but to hear these stories, and he's helping a lot of people. So I love being part of that. But a couple of guests coming up. God, I always forget his name, but his last name is Weiss. He played Goldberg in the Mighty Ducks movie.
Oh, I can picture him.
Yeah, I think his name is Sean Weiss.
Yes, that's it.
He went through a bad addiction to meth.
Yes, I remember seeing those pictures online. He was a disaster.
Yeah, they're actually interviewing him tonight for next
And he's
week's
a
podcast.
success story.
Yeah,
He's
Yes.
cleaned, oh, that's great.
He's cleaned out. He's
Tell me the
helping
name of the
people.
podcast.
Pondoffs Anonymous.
Pondoffs Anonymous.
Pondoffs Anonymous.
Although they're not really anonymous.
No, he's just having fun with it.
Yeah.
And I found he wanted to talk to Scott Spezio. And I found Scott, talked to him, and Scott's going to come on sometime in the next couple of months.
Wow.
When his schedule dies down, to talk about his problems, not only when he was with the Cardinals, but after baseball. And
He ran into problems?
Oh, yeah, drinking problems. And all
I didn't know
kinds of
that.
stuff.
Didn't he have Scott Spezio?
Scott Spezio.
Remember, didn't he have like that shot, that red?
Yeah, that red
Yeah.
goatee or red
Yeah, right,
soul
right.
patch, whatever it's called. Yeah, so he's going to come on, and Buff Bagwell's coming on to talk about his problems with addiction. So a lot of good guests. But I love working on that with him because he really takes it seriously and he loves doing good podcast. But they have fun. They tell their own little stories. And Chris has been sober for I think 12 years now. They also run Illinois Recovery Center in Illinois. So that's what I'm doing. I love helping them out. So if you get a chance, go
Literally saving lives.
He is Pondoffs Anonymous podcast. You can find on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, anywhere you
do
get your
a lot
podcast.
of good stuff.
He is. He's a great guy too.
No,
He just-
you ought to be proud of yourself.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, for what?
Well, you're
Well, you do. A lot of
anti-bullying.
people don't. a lot
Well,
of
yeah,
people-
I'm proud of being part of the
Beating
Megan Meyer
addictions,
Foundation.
sharing the good stories. I mean, you know, you really, I've noticed that like 3 times during this interview, you really sell yourself short. I mean, there's a
I'm not
difference
one to-
between
I'm not
being
one to
humble.
brag.
He's modest.
No, it's like, yeah, but look, I'm not saying you should brag, but you don't have to be so humble. You know, you're doing things that are.
No, I'm happy with the career I've had. Money-wise, no. As it's showing in my Social Security retirement benefits, 33 years in radios don't pay you much. So it'd be nice if I could retire when I did and say, yeah, I don't need to work.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to work, but I like doing the things I'm doing, like helping Chris out. I'm still kind of producing, so that's kind of fun. My Patreon, I can do it when I want. I can put up what I want. If I want to, tell a dirty story from hedonism, I can. If I want to interview a couple of porn stars, I have with Seika and Christy Canyon. That's up there. Yes, I can do what I
Those are
want.
some names. That now you're going back to my years.
Those are
Christy Canyon and
those are
Seiko.
those are the superstars of the heyday.
Is Tori Wells? Is she still around? Is she
I don't
alive?
think so. I think she's.
You never see her pop up on any of these. Like they have all these videos that pop up that show you what some of these
They
people
pop up
look
where
like
you have to search for
today.
them. They can't
No,
just
no,
pop up.
on
We may
TikTok.
need to save this for the
No,
Patreon.
on TikTok, they will show you like these were like the adult stars
Where
you
are
grew
they
up with
now?
in the 70s or 80s, and then they show them what they
Oh.
look like now.
Well, you
just
wanted me to
wanna-
tell a
I'm
story from Heat LA.
guessing
You just
most
wanna-
of them are
you just wanna kill
in
yourself.
caskets.
No, a lot of them are
Really?
alive. Yeah,
Remember
but
that
they're-
real
but they're
heavy porn star guy, Eduardo Herman?
Hermano.
Yeah,
That's
he
it. Hey,
was
back
something.
then you could be a heavier guy doing porn. Look at Ron Jeremy. I mean, that guy was a beast.
Ooh, and
He was
turned
the
out
only-
to
he was
be
the only
a
one.
monster.
Yeah,
really
big.
a
A
monster.
monster.
Is he in jail?
Yeah, I
He
think
is.
he is. Isn't he in jail?
Yeah, that they all turned on him. They all.
Well, sounds like there was a lot to turn on.
I mean, and
Well, there was, but one person mentioned that, and everybody came out of the woodwork.
yeah.
No,
No,
Peter
I-
North is not.
he alive?
He's alive.
Wasn't
he
he
should be in
the
jail.
one
He should
with
be in the
the
Hall of Fame. Is where he should
Wonderland
be.
murders?
No, that's John Holmes.
John Holmes, right.
John Holmes. Great thing on the Wonderland murders, and then I know we have to wrap. We got a signal, but Wonderland murders had one of the best movie promotional objects out for sale. They sell a movie,
Yeah.
they make things. They had a ruler, and if you looked at the ruler, it was
Okay.
13 and a half inches.
All
and
right.
it just
well,
looked like a
it's-
regular ruler,
On that note,
but it was 13 and a half inches.
I watched
for
that. I
John
watched that a
Holmes.
few weeks ago.
Any good?
I think we need to have a
the
little
acting's
talk
kinda-
about
acting
It
why
was a
we do
regular
this
movie. It
podcast.
wasn't
I don't even think it was rated R. I don't think there's any nudity in it. It's just about the Wonderland
Yeah,
murders.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was about a series of murders.
Yeah.
But the ruler had 13 and a half
You
inches
know, I have
on
a friend who wrote that script, essentially the same script 10 years before that movie came out.
it. Did it get lifted or he never shared it?
Oh, he shared it. He just could never get anyone to pick it up.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like it was a big hit, so he didn't miss anything.
Well, thank you for having me on, and thank you for not asking any questions that I could have gotten in trouble for answering. That we had a him haul about answering, so thank you for
Oh,
that.
no.
It's our
We're
poor
not here.
interview
On your
skills.
first trip onto the podcast, we got to keep it not too aggressive. But maybe we'll have you come back as interesting and fun things come up.
Anytime I live 3 blocks from you, I actually walked today.
Oh, that's
Wow.
awesome.
That is awesome.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
There you
Yeah.
have it, folks. And when this episode is ready, we're gonna, because I plugged it this morning heavily on TMA, because those
I
people,
heard.
they want to know what you're doing.
excuse me.
I
They
listen
have
most of the
an
time, and
active
today I
interest.
slept a little late, and I got up and somebody texted me, "Hey, Ed's talking about you," and so I went on the show, and I kind of went back a little bit and listened. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no,
And
that's- I'm very
congratulations to
excited
Brody getting his job at 590.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting too.
Tell
Awesome.
Dave, tell Dave Breen I
There's
said hi.
nothing like a live studio
Let's wrap.
audience.
can't
That's
beat it.
it,
That's it,
Steven.
folks.
Cut it. That's all, folks.
That's it. Get ready for the Podcasters Hall of Fame. This is our submission.
That's right.
Bye, Saga.